The concept of justice. In the Republic, Plato delves into the question of what justice is and how it should manifest in the lives of individuals and society. He initiates the discussion through a dialogue led by Socrates with various participants, including Polemarchus and Thrasymachus. Plato raises the question, what is justice in the state and within an individual? Main thesis. Justice in society is achieved when each person fulfills their role according to their nature and refrains from interfering in the roles of others. Analysis. Plato concludes that ideal justice lies in harmony. Each individual performs their role without disrupting others. Justice is an internal harmony, both within an individual's soul and the state as a whole. Example, in a society, if rulers, warriors and artisans each focus on their respective duties without encroaching on others' roles, the society prospers. Modern parallel. This mirrors the contemporary notion of honesty and efficiency at work, where individuals excel in their fields without attempting to usurp others' responsibilities. The concept of an ideal state. Plato outlines a vision of a state built on the principles of ideal justice, with a strict hierarchy and division of labor. He compares the state to a vast organism where all parts work together for the common good. Main thesis. The ideal state is one governed by philosophers, as they are uniquely capable of understanding higher truths and establishing justice. Analysis. Plato introduces three primary classes of people in the state. Rulers, philosophers. Possessing knowledge of eternal truths, they understand justice and govern wisely. Guardians, warriors. Protecting the state and ensuring security. Producers, artisans and farmers. Providing essential goods and services. Example. In modern terms, this can be likened to the division of labor in a large corporation, where the CEO, managers and workers each play distinct roles for the organization's success. Key insight. Philosophers should lead society because they aspire to truth, not personal gain. The theory of forms. Plato argues that the world we perceive is merely a shadow of true realities, which he calls forms or ideas. These are eternal, unchanging concepts, such as beauty, goodness, and justice, existing in a transcendent realm. Main thesis. The world we see is only a reflection of the real, immutable forms that exist beyond time and space. Analysis. Plato explains that everything we perceive is a mere shadow of perfect forms. For instance, a beautiful object we see is only a faint reflection of the ideal form of beauty. Example. Various works of art or architecture may appear beautiful, but they are mere representations of true beauty, which resides in the realm of forms. Impact. This concept profoundly influenced Western philosophy, introducing the idea of transcendent truths beyond the material world. Education and upbringing. Plato places immense emphasis on education in his ideal state, asserting that people must be trained to discern justice and their roles in society. Main thesis. Education should aim to develop intellect and moral qualities, enabling individuals to fulfill their societal functions. Analysis. Plato believes education should start early and continue throughout life. It should balance physical training, gymnastics, and spiritual development, music, cultivating both the body and soul. Example. In the ideal society, children undergo an education that helps them understand their roles and achieve harmony. This is akin to modern education systems focusing on academic knowledge and personal growth. Key point. Philosophy is central to education, as philosophers must learn to perceive truth without succumbing to personal interests or societal biases. The idea of gender equality. Plato was among the first philosophers to propose the idea of gender equality in society. For him, it did not matter whether one was born male or female. What mattered was each individual's aptitude for their role. Main thesis: women should have the same rights and responsibilities as men in an ideal state. Analysis: Plato argues that women should not be confined to domestic duties. In his ideal state, they can be rulers, guardians, or philosophers if they possess the necessary abilities. Example: this aligns with the modern belief that everyone, regardless of gender, should have the opportunity to pursue any occupation suited to their talents and aspirations. Forms of government and their decline. Plato also describes various forms of government, starting with the ideal state led by philosophers and ending with the most corrupt and despotic forms of rule. He examines the transition between these forms. Main thesis: every form of government, starting from the ideal, is subject to degradation and corruption. Analysis: Plato identifies 5 forms of governance: aristocracy, ideal state, ruled by philosopher kings; timocracy, based on honor and glory; oligarchy, dominated by the wealthy; democracy, ruled by the masses; tyranny, dictatorship, serving the ruler's self-interest. Example: this mirrors modern political dynamics, where even democratic systems may become less effective or more corrupt over time. Conclusion: in the Republic, Plato lays the groundwork for political philosophy, emphasizing justice, education, and the vision of an ideal society. The work positions philosophy as the cornerstone of governance, arguing that only those who seek truth can lead a state to prosperity.